What up, ladies? What up, ladies? What up, ladies? Give me a second. What up, ladies?
Te crees mucho, lo sé. Oye, que te digo, sé. Pero hay más en Instagram. Si tú no quieres beber, tengo fila hasta 3. No te necesito más. Te crees mucho, lo sé. Oye, que te digo, sé. Pero hay más en Instagram. Te crees mujer de lo que eres. Pero en el mundo, lo que a mujeres me la creía. Hasta ese día que me engañaste, ¿qué más? Reciclaba amores y estabas tú, te necesitaba, ya no fueron tantas flores, pero tu actitud con esa espina dolió. Después de todos los paris me llamas, diciéndome borracha que me quiere más, y ahí yo que tu amiga me cae. Lo que fue prohibido lo aprovechan más. Si tú no quieres beber, tengo filas hasta 3. No te necesito más. Te crees mucho, lo sé. Sé que te digo, sé. Pero hay más en Instagram. Si tú no quieres beber, tengo filas hasta 3. No te necesito más. Te crees mucho, lo sé. Sé que te digo, sé. Pero hay más en Instagram. Los mensajes que no pude ver, que eran tus amigas, que nada que ver, pues tan bobo no. Y rezando a Dios, no me lo hace dos veces. Una triste de la realidad, solo mentira, nada verdad. Me quedaba mucho por sentir, no creo que fuera necesidad. Tú me quitaste la libertad, no porque no fue mi voluntad, pero aceptaste vivir, o no. Después de todos los paris me llamas, diciéndome borracha que me quieren más. Y ahí odio que tu amiga me cae. Lo que fue prohibido lo aprovechan más. Si tú quieres beber, tengo filas hasta 3. No te necesito más. Te crees mucho, lo sé. Oye, que te digo, sé. Pero hay más en Instagram. Si tú quieres beber, tengo filas hasta 3. No te necesito más. Te crees mucho, lo sé. Oye, que te digo, sé. Pero hay más en Instagram.
Welcome, welcome, everybody. Hello, hello, everybody. Hi, hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Coming into the chat. I was trying to give it a second as usual, but we're going to get started because I don't want to be here too long. Nope. But let me get this. If I can get that right, get that right. Sit myself down. I was standing up for a second. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. All right, let's get into some small talk. Let's get into some small talk. Not too much. Not too much because there's so much going on. Hello, welcome, welcome. What up, Harlem and the other moderators? And if they pop in, which they um, normally do a little bit later. So if not, Harlem is here. Thanks for being here, sweetheart. Galatians, Dip, Tanya, hello, hello. I know a lot of you guys do not like to be on the panel to have panel talk, but just in case, I will drop the link before I get started. So You're more than welcome today, just for a little while, to call in. So, yeah, we'll get that number out there as well. But you guys, oh, what a prayer. I've been around, just watching a few things at work. It's a I'm not going to say that this is a sad thing. It's a strange situation. It's an unusual situation. It's a conspicuous situation. This is a situation, but I can sit here and ask people, well, what do you feel? Well, what do you feel, right? What do you feel about all of this? And it's really will become a personal feeling, but at the end of the day, this is something that has to be dealt with in the court of law. We can express all of our feelings all day, all day. And, you will ask, does it matter? So I do ask and I do pray that a lot of you guys are not taking this Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly's case personal, where it will start to damage your health or stress you out or give you lots of headaches and things like that. Have you out here saying a bunch of crazy things that, can start up some type of fight with you or having people hate you for the things that you say. 'Cause I saw some things and it was on a channel and somehow I just kind of stumbled on the channel, right? And I'm going, okay, it's a little confusing, it's a little hostile, it didn't feel welcoming over there at all. And I was like, oh, okay. It's to me it's a biased channel, they just hi Nisimo. Hello, it just wasn't balanced out over there. And you got people afraid of, not afraid, just cautious about commenting, and because they felt that they were going to get chewed out and things like that. And I don't know. I think it was sending like mixed vibes, confusing stories about, what had went on allegedly with Nicole Becker. As you guys know, it's Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly's um, attorney. And to my understanding, and from what I saw, and she had always been there, since 2000 and somewhere 19, I can't tell you how she got there, or neither can I tell you how Greenberg got there. All I can tell you is that Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly was lawyered up. He was L'd up out there. So when I first saw that he had this board of representation, it had eased a little bit of tension about, okay, step one is done. He's represented. Okay, we'll get this going. He's got a team out there. And as the ball kept going, and motions and discoveries and phone calls and visitations with the social media out here and everything, a lot of stuff just got discombobulated. It just got intertwined, and 'cause everybody wanted to talk. Everybody needed to speak out, and everybody needed to tell their truth and their understandings of what had happened and what is causing this to happen. So, you know, I I don't know. I'm not here to say anything bad about Nicole. I am here to say that I believe, to my understanding, that there may be also a third new attorney, and some of that kind of got dropped on the channel last night. As you guys know, we had the honor of surprise guest with Lily over here. Lily says that she is also known as one of the God sisters of Mr. Robert Spencer Kelly. And we all know that he has many. He identifies quite a few people as, my sister and my brother. So, with all due respect, I had nothing but respect on that because I don't know these people. So, if you are who you say you are, then that's who you are. It's like I am one papoose, you guys. I'm one papoose. I'm rocking my my due process for Kale's shirt today. And the crazy thing, you guys, as because I'm wearing it at work, I can wear any other type of, graphic shirt, and people be like, oh, well, what's that? Or who's that? Especially if I wear my one Papoose grind gear, right? And so they know, right? But it's like nobody had a question about, the due process for Kales. Like I say, I live in a community, and the air up here, the air, AIR up here, these people don't know. These people just don't get involved in something that is just not of them or of their own people. So, hey, Beauty. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine, Beauty. Harlem is here. Go ahead. Take care of your stuff, girl. You say you left your beats at the house, so I can hear your live. So hope all is well. All is well, sweetheart. Yep. Yep. Harlem got it, and I'm here. So, and it's not too many of us right now, so we're good. And I usually don't get no drama or nothing over here, except for the people that pops in to hit the thumbs down, you guys. So, if you don't mind, let's overwhelm the thumbs down and let's get the lights way up over the thumbs down over here. Those are just people that's like, we don't like that girl. Give her a thumbs down, and that's okay too, you guys. For some reason, I got really exhausted today. I had planned on coming on a lot earlier, which I'm not going to be here that long. And I took a nap, and that was the first nap that I've taken in quite some time. It's been some time since I had a nap, but I needed a nap, y'all. Woof. But a little bit rejuvenated, but I can't wait to now get a nice hot shower and then crash out because I'm right back up again at 7 o'clock in the morning. So, but let's get started, you guys. Let me see if I can bring this up because we're going to go back and remember Lita. Hello, hello, James. Hello, James. Hello, everybody. Let's go back down memory lane and remember who Nicole is. But before I do that, let's talk a little bit about just a little bit about this. I always put allegedly on it, even though I have been reading the stories and I have been listening to quite a bit of different opinions about Nicole and this Arlene guy, and now people finding out who was the fourth person, on this call with this allegations of something about bribery that was supposed to have been going down, but we all know that there wasn't any money that was transpired. We all saw because I saw it when Azrael and Joy was coming from the court settings in Chicago, where Nicole was there walking beside them. But I guess when you put a picture out, it will paint 1,000 words. And if you have 1,000 words, everybody is going to take their little piece of word. Okay, Nisi. All right, sounds good. Everybody will take their little share of the words and put out their propaganda of what is allegedly going on with attorney Nicole Becker and her counterpart partner, right? So of course you're going to have the ops out there, and the ops are going to put out bad information to make the story look really horrifying to people. Oh my God, hi Chappelle. Oh my God, what's going to happen? What is the judge going to do? And will she get rid of all four of them now? Will she allow Greenberg now to withdraw as they asked to withdraw based on their reasons to withdraw due to the conflict of interest? Well, we're still waiting on that, but I think that it is a wrap with that. I think that the judge may have made her decision. That, in my opinion, from what I'm reading, that Nicole Becker and her counterpartner will continue on as scheduled with the trial coming up here in August. So we all can kind of look at this picture and we may believe that, these are some things that Attorney Greenberg and his counterpartner came up with, to do what we like to call some sabotaging. They had found them a reason to say this is why we believe that this is a mm, let me let Ted out. I didn't want us barking in the video, you guys. I have us barking in quite a few videos. What up, Juicy? Miss Brown, hello. So yeah, that and once all of these stories hit out here in all kind of ways, boy, you better not let the ops get hold to it, because they sure go shake. They gonna shake that shit like bacon shake. They gonna shake it up and see how that they can twist the story. But like I say, there is a channel that is out there, and I don't want to say right now, but boy, that channel is horrifying. And that's just my opinion of it, because you have two different views on there, allegedly. One is for Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead on and say it, because I don't want to leave you guys confused at all. I popped in on Miss Darlene April channel, right? And as far as I know, she, the one that I met downtown Chicago, and her story about her mother, she has always been for Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. I get it that it may be some mixed views now about Miss Darlene April, because Miss Darlene April associates herself now with the what YouTube Team Kale's sector would like to call the ops out there, and is dealing with Drunken Larry, and a lot of people, and a lot of people don't like the way Drunken Larry, including myself, speaks on about Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, and a lot of us just did not like the way that he came on the scene. And I call him, the crucifier. It is what it is. It's just my opinion of it, about how he moved out here. So, but there's like her counter panel partner, and got pretty, a little bit loud. And I was only on there for about 15 minutes. I kind of click on based on what your title is to your program. So if it's catching, it catches my eye, something may be of interest of that I would like to know, then I would click on it and be like, well, okay, maybe they have more information. But over on that channel, allegedly, with Drunken Larry, he dropped quite a bit, of information. And of course, Darlene panel partner was all for it. Like there was no benefit of the doubt at all. About the situation, about this Arlene guy, and allegedly, the Jane, the other Jane Doe that nobody knew about, and allegedly that this is what Greenberg was either holding on to, and or um, did he know about this all the time? Um, with screaming that he was waiting on discovery, or he hadn't gotten all of discovery. Could that be the only piece of the discovery that he was waiting on? And then, drop the bombshell out here in the media about her, and allow got printed all up over on Twitter and everything. But yeah, they got hold of that story, and I mean, they just just chopped it into pieces over there. So I was like, ooh, okay. So it wasn't my energy, right? And I was like, I gotta go, so I hurried up and pretty much exit to the left over there. It was pretty weird, it was pretty weird, but that's their panel, and shout out to them on how they run it, but wasn't for me. I don't like bias channel, and I think that the channel, in my opinion, is very biased, and that's because is overwhelmed with Miss Darlene April views of what she would like to share as her opinions about Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. So it just wasn't balanced out enough because apparently she is the only one on the panel that tries to keep the flow of things of what she support about Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, but her opinions is just it gets overwhelmed by the non-supporters over there. So I was like, yeah, I put my skates on, y'all, and got my ass right on up off that channel. I was like, no can do. I like a balance, balanced views, balanced opinions. And if it's not balanced out, then it just doesn't hold my attention. So, but, wish them well over there, but it's just not for Pap. That was it. So, but yeah, she's allegedly was under the assumption out here that she would possibly be up under some hot water, but I don't read it that way. I really don't read it that way. I don't think that someone like her, but we usually think that about plenty of attorneys, right? Because we didn't think this about Greenberg, right? But so I guess I'm just gonna have to hope and along with you guys, I'm gonna get on the hope train and be like, well, okay, this is gonna work. She's gonna be good. She's gonna support him. She's gonna represent him because we all use that reason, right? They're not going to come out here and just all of a sudden damage their total career. This is an attorney who fights sex crimes, so, and she was fighting those as a prosecutor, but now she has taken on the defense side of teams. So I don't know. I don't know. I think that I'm tired of saying, okay, this is going to be this one. This is going to be this one. I think that I would just like to, I think that I would just like to wait now and see how everything plays out. Juicy Love, did you peep in there? Oh, girl, did you peep in there too, honey? I had to go. I felt I had to go wash myself. I had to go wash myself off, girl. I was like, oh Lord, oh Lord. But everybody channel is so different, and that's the good thing about YouTube, right? Because you get to click right off the same way you clicked on it. You get to click right off of it and have that choice of not being engaged in a lot of things. It's okay to look juicy, but sometimes you just can't stay and stick around. You can't make that you can't make that choice. Like you peep, you look, you listen for a second. Now you can make your choice like, no can do. So I'm almost at the point, just love, where I got to stop being freaking nosy out here, though, you guys. I think that I have a lot of people in the bushes right now. I'm sitting at 34 likes out here and 83 in the chat. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, you guys. Let's get the likes up out here. So, and while you guys take care of the easy part, hitting the like button, I'm going to go do the hard part, which is bring up a video that I think that it's okay to share to bring back the Nicole Becker that came on as Nicole Becker from the beginning. Let's remember her words, okay? So let me get to this. Hold on a second. A second. Let me get to it. I don't know why am I so hot. It is hot, yeah. I got my air on too, but Okay, no, not that one. Save that one. So, not that one. Let's go back. Do, do, do. Okay, this is gonna go for a little bit, and I'm gonna probably be stopping it so that we could talk about it.
Everybody's been talking R. Kelly this, R. Kelly that. I have the privilege right now of having attorney Nicole Becker in the studio with me. She was head of the sex crimes unit inside Macomb County Prosecutor's Office for years. And now you're on the other side and you're defending probably one of the, I don't know, most notorious cases for right now of this decade.
You got it.
Mr. R. Kelly, Mr. Robert Kelly. First of all, thank you for coming in.
Of course.
I got lots of questions for you. I got questions for listeners and everything like that. One question from one listener is from Melissa, and she says, why are you defending this man?
That's a question I get all the time. Mm-hmm. And, Bushman, I have a job to do. And listen, people in general seem to not like lawyers, right?
Right.
So I know that stigma comes along with what I do. But it is a job, and my job I'm dedicated to, and I do it honestly, and I work hard. So because I had the background that I had, which was the chief of the sex unit over in Macomb County for so long, and being in that unit, I know this stuff frontwards and backwards and in my sleep. Mm-hmm. So I'm now on the defense side, and I'm also now being asked to analyze and represent a case that is in my wheelhouse. Mm-hmm. So I don't look at it as I'm not a starstruck person. I'm not looking at it as, oh my gosh, I get to stand next to Robert Kelly. No.
Right.
I see facts and I analyze facts. I wish I could tell you I've analyzed the facts in this case. However, we don't have all the discovery.
That was another question for you. Now there's these alleged sex tapes of Mr. Kelly that are in the prosecution's hands, correct?
Well, what sounds so good is you said tapes, and that's because it's been represented that there's one tape. Mm-hmm. Then there's Michael Avenatti with the first tape.
Right.
Then all of a sudden he talked to the media and said there's a second tape. And then he said there's a third tape. Meanwhile, Bushman, my understanding for what the prosecutor has indicated so far, there's one tape. And that tape they have not produced to us yet.
Wow. So you haven't even seen the tape, the evidence that they claim they have against R. Kelly.
You got it.
Wow. Another question that came from Instagram from Diva_Nails. She was thinking that he's going to be charged, but she feels like they're not going to charge him with everything that they're trying to charge him with. But she was also asking, what about the parents of these alleged kids, that he allegedly had relations with? What, or if anything, is going to happen to them?
Okay, so the first part of that question, with regards to the girls, listen, we know, it's actually the second part of your question. Mm-hmm. We know that there are two sets of parents that have been active and on TV and with Gayle King, trying to what they're calling see their daughters, right? We know that. That's a fact. Another fact is that one of Robert's girlfriends, we learned, was Jocelyn, and Jocelyn Savage, and her parents are indicating that they're actively trying to see Jocelyn. Mm-hmm. Robert and Jocelyn have told them several times that they can come meet her. And yet in the media, all we're hearing is, we can't see her. Is she okay? Is she safe? She's called them and said everything's fine. They have their own contentious issues that started way before Robert even came into Jocelyn Savage's life. So, it's an easy thing for the media to sort of put out there, and the savages keep going on TV shows and putting that out there. And I get it. If I hadn't seen my daughter in a while, I'd be doing anything I could to see him.
Now, I'm going to stop it just for a second so that you guys can see. I just want you to understand why I am playing this. And this is coming from an attorney, Nicole Becker. I have to go back and put the E in attorney. Oh, I guess I was still sleepy, you guys. Ain't nobody correct me on that. I be typing too fast with my typos, but I will fix that in my title once we're done on the live. But this is an attorney. And sometimes you got to think outside the box, right? And if you guys will really, really listen to her, right? She's telling you, I'm going to say me. I'm not going to say you because I don't know what you guys hear. I'm going to tell you what I hear. She's telling you her fight. She's telling you her fight. Yeah, she's telling you her fight. She's telling you her fight. And if we can just take a moment when they speak to us like this and write it down, well, there's the first one right there that's probably up on an agenda, says that there's the one tape, and she's going to get into explaining to you guys of how Michael Avenatti come out and start talking about, yes, this is an older one. This is an older one, Ivan, but sometimes you got to go back to the old to hear what the game plan was or who this person is that now that they speak about with trying to decimate, that's trying to destroy her character and things like that. And I am going to show you some information as well as we continue on in the live. I have a couple of things to pop out here to you guys before I retire to bed. But you have that thing, with the tapes. So there's a lot. I don't know, Lysol. I don't know. I don't know who needs to stay and who needs to go. It's crazy, but let's continue. So she has that. And that's just the way I am. I kind of write down the things that they really speak highly of, that they make their PowerPoints of in their fight, So, I write this down. I was like, well, okay, so these are her PowerPoints of what she alleged to have in her fight. Will she win these things? Is this something that she will be able to make as will she use this as part of being her defense if things come about in the prosecuting argument? So I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Lysol, at this point, there's nobody that is alleged, I guess, to be trust, because every week there is something else that comes out and out and out and out, but it does no harm to talk about it.
Surrounded himself around some people that really took advantage of him, specifically, I mean, with regards to money management, and you hear about that all the time. Right. So that's not something new, but what it did is it really minimized his circle of trust. And when you minimize your circle of trust, you don't know who you could trust and who you can't. The problems is now, if you don't got the money behind you, how are you going to combat this enormous storm that's coming your way? And, and that's why I'm here to sort of speak out, to remind the world that there's always three sides to a story.
Now, I did see, I think on TMZ yesterday, where he paid 2 months of child support ahead.
So he paid 2 months of child support that he had owed.
Okay.
He's up to date. He also, remember there was a woman who's doing a civil suit and he didn't show up for court. And everyone's like, oh my God, he didn't show up for court. What's wrong with him? He's big ego.
Right.
Okay. Well, first of all, it was a win, by the way. The other day, the judge lifted that particular decision.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
You got it. So that was good. But listen, Robert happens to be, now I've spent a lot of time with him, okay? Because I need to understand, just like I do with any client, I need to understand where that person is coming from and what their perspective is, okay? I have been with him in person. We are in constant communication, okay? He is, now some people say, he's sort of been painted as a monster, right? This guy who just takes advantage of kids. And, we saw Gayle King where he was,
very emotional.
Very, yes.
Very just like, I don't know, that kind of like touched me. I was like, okay, what is going on? Part of me is like, okay, he seems very passionate and emotional about what's going on. Then there's that fear for Kid Gayle. What is he about to do? And he left, I think, a lot of people wondering.
Absolutely. Now listen, Bushman, imagine that the world literally is coming down around you, literally. And you don't have the ability really to fight it off. And it is a very big thing. The media is a very, very big player in a lot of people's lives who are in the spotlight or even not in the spotlight. So when Robert was there with Gayle, my belief in watching that was, and now knowing Robert like I know him, that was like his cry. That was his, men aren't supposed to be emotional and cry.
Right.
I think it had been so bottled up in him for so long that was like, he's like, please, he was desperate at that point for the world to understand where he was coming from. Right. So I think there's a lot of misconceptions. I can't tell you how many times I see in a radio show or hear on a radio show or see on TV, he's explosive. Did he act like that when you were with him? Bushman, whenever I'm with him, he happens to be, and I don't know if you've met him, but he happens to be a really nice guy.
I met him years ago, back when it was R.Kelly and Public Announcement.
Got it. Okay. So he's a nice guy. I mean, he must be doing something right to have millions and millions of people that come. Now, I get it. They love his music. Okay. But if he's not a respected guy, no one's going to be coming around you. Right. If you're controversial, no one's going to be coming to see you. He's been on millions of stages with tons of fans around him. And when I'm with him, like I said, I'm not starstruck, so I'm not a fan, but we go deep when we talk, okay? And I've never seen an explosive side of him. Now, obviously, I'm his lawyer. I get it. There's a respect factor there. It's a different relationship. But usually those kind of people who I have dealt with in my life several times, they have breaks where you see a little like, oh, geez. Okay, now I know what the media is talking about. I haven't seen that. In fact, I've seen a man who is, and I hate to use this word because I know it's going to be scrutinized, but he's suffering. Now, I know I'm not asking for sympathy for him because, everyone's got to man up. But he is slowly being uplifted by the support that he has from his fans. He's actually produced about somewhere now between 7 to 9 albums because he's working.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, that was a question from Brittany. Brittany, who I know is a huge R.Kelly fan. Anytime he would come to town, always would be asking me, can I get tickets? You going to the show, blah, 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 blah. She was asking on Facebook, when will this be over? We need new music.
I couldn't agree with her more. And I bet Robert would say, thank you, hallelujah. Yes, actually, Robert is... that's his thing. We all have something that we go to when we need to just sort of space out. Mine is reality TV, which my husband I'm sure loves. But so his is music. That's his passion. It's not his job, it's his passion.
Right.
So what he does and what he's been doing this whole time is recording some insane music, because everyone knows that this man has this talent for singing and putting out great hits. So the world knows he is working on that. And not only is he working on it, he is doing it. He has come up with a bunch of albums already. And he is going to have, I don't want to say too much, but the public will be able to hear those songs and, really enjoy what the lovers know is amazing music.
So let me ask you this, because I've gotten this question a lot, and someone did want me to ask you this. So it came out that Robert does not know how to read. But other people were asking, if he does not know how to read, how is he writing music?
So that's what's so crazy. So two things about that. First, he does have some literacy issues. There are, but I've watched and I know he's read texts that I send him all the time. Okay. But he is such a musical genius. He taught himself at a very young age how to play the piano. He does it all by his ear and his brain, and he writes music. It's beautiful. He doesn't need to read to write music. It comes from within him or from what he's seen in life. There's a million different ways he comes up with the songs, and he just happens to be a genius in that area.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Now, there's a big controversy about text messages, emails exchanged with the prosecutor and the other attorney you were talking about earlier.
Avenatti.
Yes. What is going on with that?
So currently, as of today, there's nothing going on other than we now have the abilities to sort of look at the way this whole thing unfolded and try and make sense of it. Because we know that the Lifetime thing aired, the first show.
And there's now
there was the follow-up.
Follow-up.
Yep. So the Lifetime thing airs. Kim Fox goes on TV asking for victims to call in and come to talk to her, which we could go on for hours about that.
Right.
Because that is simply just, I've never seen that done. Typically, a victim goes to the police department, and once they're at the police department, there's an investigation done, and then that request for a warrant is sent over to the prosecutor's office. And sure, the police might go on TV and say, hey, if anyone else has seen anyone rob a store like this, or if anyone else knows anyone else was involved in this robbery, please call us. That's the police department.
Right.
For an actual prosecutor to, for lack of a better word, solicit people to come in, not having a report from anyone locally in Chicago, that procedure was something that was bizarre. Okay, so she does that, right? After that, we hear that there's a number of people that call, and then they start investigating.
And there's one that's locally.
You got it. Well, let's get to the local one in a sec. Okay. So these people start calling, right? And then we find this Michael Avenatti, who, for lack of better words, he's this self-proclaimed, big defense attorney. He's got the high profile cases and stuff. People like to listen to him, and he talks, and he's not afraid to talk. But unfortunately, his talking and doing has gotten him in a lot of trouble. He is currently indicted in another state, but the indictment, the charges of like embezzlement and so forth, those are proof, those are facts that he is charged with some crimes that are notorious for meaning a liar, right? Not perhaps, although he hasn't been tried yet, perhaps he wasn't telling the truth about a lot of stuff, right? Okay. So now you come back to our timeline, right? Avenatti, after the request for the victims to come in, now Avenatti is saying, I got a videotape, right? And he's swearing the videotape is a different videotape from the 2002 matter. Not only does he say he has a videotape, then he says he's got a second videotape. Then all of a sudden we hear he's got a third videotape, right? Lo and behold, all I can tell you is what I know so far and what I've been told so far. There's one tape. Okay. And where is all this other stuff that he was talking to the media about? I mean, remember, he was taped when he went to Nike. That was one of the issues that he's in trouble for.
Right.
And when he was talking to them in Nike, he basically said something to the effect of 90% of what I say is BS and 10% of it is true. And he included R.Kelly's name in that statement. Okay. Red flag, red flag, red flag. So here is an individual who may have, the smoking gun, let's say, in Robert's case, a video of what he claims, is illegal acts. The same guy is saying that 90% of what he says is true and, it's false, and 10% is true. That should be really scary. That Kim Fox, because that's my understanding from reading everything, is that she actually met with Avenatti at the airport, is what the reports say, to get the tape from him. And that is ultimately how the tape came to the prosecutor's office. Now, not to mention, I skipped this part, CNN reports that they saw the tape. You know what that means? That means that Avenatti must have given them the tape. That's what they're saying. And right. I find that insane because that's called disseminating child porn. You cannot, not only can you not watch it, but as a lawyer, we can't, frankly, as any person, not just a lawyer, but a lawyer should know better. You cannot turn it, that tape goes nowhere but to the police.
Right.
Somehow this tape is given to the prosecutor, and then that is what they're saying they've based some of the charges on.
So do you think that this would be your opinion? He's using this to deflect off of what he's going through? So
great point, Bushman. I don't think the way a master manipulator thinks. That's not the way I think. So I would simply be making assumptions if I had to tell you what exactly and why exactly he's doing what he's doing.
Right.
But I can tell you that, first of all, we haven't seen the video, which is insane, right? I mean, it's if this is what they're claiming this is all about, we should be part of that or able to go into the prosecutor's office and at least just watch it there as lawyers.
Yes.
But, I don't know what Mr. Avenatti's motives are, nor, frankly, may we ever find out. But what I do know is all of those are facts that we all know about. And all of those certainly hinge on, is that a legitimate tape? Is it not? Are there 2 other random tapes floating out there that he claims? And again, this is a fact that was put out in the media, that the tape came from a man who was watching he was looking through his VHS tapes, and all of a sudden he found he ended up watching this tape. And then that tape from him was turned over to Avenatti. Okay. To add to it, right? Supposedly, after obviously some time passes, we learned from the media that that original man who found the VHS tape was paid to turn over this tape to supposedly Michael Avenatti. Okay. I mean,
I'm wondering, why did he have the tape in the first place?
Exactly. Like, first of all, VHS, no offense, but that went out, I don't know how long ago. Listen,
I can't find a VHS player that will work when I try to watch old tapes.
Sure.
Find old footage of me doing something, interviewing somebody.
Sure.
I can't find one that it either chews it up or it just doesn't do anything.
So this guy has got this VHS tape that he just found happenstancely, which is insane, but okay. And then, wow, look, it happens to be the exact tape that he turns over to Avenatti, and then he moves on. I mean, listen, if you want to put this in a bow and say Robert's guilty, it's very easy to just listen and take in everything that we're hearing in the media.
Right.
But I'm here and I am representing Robert because there is another side to the story. Now, listen, I'm not, if there's a tape and if a tape exists and if the tape has these things that they're claiming it has, listen, I get it. That's a different story, but I can't tell you that that's happening or that's what is going on because I haven't seen it. So it's just interesting, though, if you really pull everything apart, open everyone's eyes to the other options or other things that could be going on. I mean, listen, we live here in Michigan, right?
Right.
So we're not like in the California spotlight or the New York spotlight. I mean, we're, granted, Detroit's amazing and we're really up and coming. But there really is such a thing as the media taking people down. And, without being able to have a voice to respond to it.
Right.
You gotta remember there's a reason why we're in America and you're innocent until proven guilty, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say he has already been found guilty in the media from the few things that they've either watched on TV or heard. Some people say, well, I've never seen the Lifetime, but I heard how horrible it was. Sure.
Well, between the Lifetime, music being pulled from streaming networks, music being pulled off radio, videos, other artists that he collabed with, pulling him off of that, yes, he's definitely been found guilty in that sense. Now, let me ask you this question. Because the timing was crazy. All this is going on, and then Jussie Smollett. And we're dealing with some of the same people that you're having to deal with right now. And then how that case turned out. Do you think that's why they may be holding certain things, or they're trying to get their ducks in a row so that what happened to Jussie Smollett and him walking doesn't happen to R.Kelly?
Sure. It's all intertwined.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because it's the same prosecutor's office. It's the same, Kim Fox is on both of the cases.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, the thought of the way the Smollett thing went down, it put a very bad taste as we saw the police departments. They were asking Kim Fox to step down. I mean, it put a bad taste in a lot of people's mind, in their mouth. So with regards to Robert, it happened to be happening at the very same time. But I think what it just shined a light on for him is the fact that there are things that go on behind the scenes that we just don't know about.
Right.
And justice should be swift and fair. But that is a prime example of how things happen and nobody hears about it. Nobody knows what's exactly happening. And so I think that should help play a role in putting up some red flags when everyone in the world's believing just the couple, the things that they're hearing.
Right. Before you go,
yes.
I want to give you a chance, and I think you've really expressed and done this, but is there anything else that you want people to know about R. Kelly that they may not know, that they may have misconceptions about him and this case and what's going on right now with him? And then I want to know the second part of that question. I don't want to give you too many things at once. When is the next court appearance? Because a lot of people want to know, how long is this going to go on?
Understandable.
Mm-hmm.
So let me start with the first question.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something. Robert's state of mind right now, listen, he's human, okay? So he has a number of bad days. So when I say bad days, you know, he recognizes that this is some kind of animal that really has not been dealt with before. And it has a lot of tentacles. And there's a lot that needs to be going on in order to properly defend him. But he is uplifted and feeling a little uplifted. You know, prior to this whole Avenatti thing, this whole where the public was really able to see on their own a couple things that were really bizarre, he wouldn't even think of getting on a stage. You know, but I think now that he feels a teeny bit of like, okay, maybe the media, the public is finally seeing that it's not always just what you hear. So he is, I'm not going to say he's in a good place. Like I said, any of us sitting in those shoes, any of my clients sitting in the shoes of being charged with those kind of crimes, not in a good place. But what I can tell you is Robert is weathering the storm. He has been through the storm before, back in 2002, and it does take a piece of you. Mm-hmm. But he's doing everything he can to try and just remain focused and look down the road so that this stuff can get in his past and he could move forward and do what he does best, which is writing songs and performing.
Gotcha.
Okay, so there you have it with Nicole. But I'm going to be bringing up a little bit more information about Nicole here in a second. I'm noticing that there's some things going on that I really don't care. None of my attention will be wasted on them at all. No more. I'm so done and so over it with the loud mouths and the defaming and the derogatory words that angry people like to use out there. So over it, so past it. None of them is there. I have no more skin for anybody to rub, so I could care less about what they're thinking. I'm only here just to share content with people that doesn't mind coming over and listening to what I play and how I put it down. That's it, and that's all. Don't care what they think over there, because I've been recognized a lot of how they do what they do and why they do all of these things out here. So it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. But let's get into this other one, and yeah, let's talk about it. So let me get it up again. Hold on. Let me get it up. A second. It's like it's so many angry birds out here. It don't make no damn sense. I'm not in the courtroom. They're not in the courtroom. They're not going to be in the courtroom. Nobody out here that puts all of this stuff out is not going to be presiding over Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly's case. And I know for a fact, you know, that there is a sequestered juror, and I get that. But this juror as well has to raise their right hand. As far as we know right now, this juror for Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly has to be, it's people just like you and I that is going to hear both sides of a story up in there, just like attorney Nicole Becker stated. There's three sides to a story. There's going to be three sides. You're going to hear the prosecution, you're going to hear the defense, and you're probably going to hear if Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly is called to the stand. We don't even know that for sure at all if he will be taking the stand in his own defense. Then the juror gets to hear every single thing that is played out. And they are jurors just like you and I that you call human beings. Hopefully, it is not tainted that far down. If they're going to have this sequestered juror, you people, as long as I, as well as I, is looking for the people that has raised their right hand to do what they came to do, and that is listen to the story and weigh out the facts and weigh out the BS and come back with their decision on Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly's life. We have been pretty much overwhelmed out here with the slander or the defamation, and it's crazy. It doesn't take this much of what I guess I'm going to call them the mute R.Kelly campaign, the ops or whatever. It didn't even take this much. They put way too much energy into trying to put the propaganda out here that, oh, Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly is guilty. I've said it once and I'll say it twice. I'll say it 3 times. I don't give two rats' butts about that 2002 and 2008 case. I am aware that your government is going to try to replay it back in Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly's life. I am aware of that. But if your defense has its game hat on and they're ready to go, I think that they should be able to tackle that and have that somewhat, weighing in their favor to the juror. That's just how I feel. I'm not going to spell it out here, X, Y, and Z, but I think that as long as their game plan is on for that, I think that that the defense will. I'm going to trust that the defense do absolutely well with presenting their defense to the juror so that the juror can favor in the defense. That's, and that's just me having the faith out here. So it's crazy. It's tiresome now trying to continue to figure out, who's the ops and who's been sent in and who's sabotaging this and who's tainting that. It's really like, it's exhausting. It don't take that much work. If you feel like you have done a spectacular job to sabotage this man's life, why you still talking? Why you still got to keep up some shit? Like why? You should be like resting your case. At some point, the ops, which I'll call them the prosecutors now because they're prosecuting right out here in the media. When are you going to rest your case? The defense, which is Team Kale size, would like to have their turn at it now to say that we would like to free Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. That's it, and that's all. They can argue and do all of this to their damn heads turn blue. I'm tired of hearing about, oh my God, and Azrael this and Azrael that and Azrael this. Azrael was with the goddamn man, and it's a man, it's a man, it's a man. Before I go on to the next, it's not a video, but we're just going to read some things that I want to show you guys, and I have permission to do so, right? So let's think about this. Minors. 15, 16, 17, 18, because according to the ops over there, any age of a teenager is a minor. He likes to argue about, oh my God, it's not within the law guidelines. Okay, let's talk a little bit about that. So since I am being talked about, I'm going to just challenge it just a little bit, because he's kind of annoying. He's like a fly. It's like, rest your case. You proven your case. You've done enough. Rest. Hit the gavel. Oh my God, you won. Damn. But Let's talk about the law. Let's talk about how messed up your law is, right? I like to ask the chat because I'm going to bring it to you guys. How old were you when you or your mother decided that you needed to be placed on birth control? How old, what is the age that you usually would put your child, or that you started taking birth control? Something that, I guess, what is it? It was approval through the state. And what is the reason of having birth control? What was the reason for having birth control? It's to protect, right? Protect your child for unexpected sexual intercourse with someone, and to also protect them from becoming pregnant at a younger age, right? Your government okayed that. They okayed that. That's okay to do. But in the way I'm thinking, somewhere where the law underlines, it just don't fit, right? If you're going to approve and push out there that we're going to put our children on birth control at a very young age, at 15, somewhere that tells me that they knew at that age, especially from way back then when your ancestors were getting raped and molested from the master out there, right? They didn't have the birth control and stuff way back in the hundreds, way back in the early 1900s. They didn't have that stuff, right? So now it's put them on a pill. We know they're going to screw. The only thing about having sexual intercourse is that somewhere around 15, 16, 17, 18, you don't know who it is that you may end up falling in love with or wanting to share your body with at 15, 16, 17, 18. Some of us ended up having sexual intercourse with an older man. It's just the way the world goddamn has been. And when I look at this case right here, and I have to speak on Azrael because everybody is angry, especially the angry bird over there who does not have any goddamn benefits. I have benefits, and that's what makes me right now a little bit better than him. So I don't care how bad he talks about me. There is nothing right now that can compare his lifestyle above mine's at all. None. Fully covered by the government benefits. When I approach retirement, which can be at 57, I will be, the government now gets to take care of me. Gets to take care of me. They don't get to have a part of me. They don't get to come and lock me up and do this because I chose to do things the right way. So now at 57, if I choose to leave, now they get to take care of me while I sit comfortably and enjoy my life with no worries at all. Some people don't use that because the quick, fast, and hurry get rich game, those are the people get to come down. Those are the people that probably ain't got shit put away for your medical insurance, for your dental insurance, for your children medical insurance, or for your children dental insurance or anything. Nothing like that. Have not paid into any life insurance policies or no sort. I'm good over here. So there's nothing that man, which I don't understand why a man would ever want to challenge any opinions or propaganda or dialogue of what she chooses to put out. So go, he has to go play with the men. Go play with the men. It's distasteful. That's just how I feel about that. But your government did it. Your government approved that. And if you think about it at a mental level, right? If when you got your child on birth control pill, what are we thinking? Oh my God, okay, I can have sex. I can have sex. If this was such a terrible thing where you would have a younger lady to have sex with an older man, you blame your government. You blame your government. Don't blame the individual because you don't know mentally what is going to happen in your life. And I said this again. I can't find anything with Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly putting a gun. I can't find no pictures or nothing with him hog tying or kidnapping and throwing anybody in a van. I don't see him on the billboards of no alert of anything. I don't see any parents or nothing running and busting and down no doors or nothing when it came to Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. See, those type of things will have to happen, not at 15, 16, 17, 18, where you're going to sit here and tell me that one man, a man, was that mental enough, that had that capacity of a mental state to manipulate, to brainwash. I have to say black girls, because black girls' mouths and attitudes since 2000, and I want to say the 2000s, has definitely changed out here. Another thing is your parents teaches them. Your parents teaches the children. You teaches your girls what to do, how to say it. And you're not going to sit here and tell me for the mouth that was on Azarel that she was manipulated. She was brainwashed into any of this. I'm not buying it. You can't pay me enough to buy that. Not with that type of mouth, not with that type of attitude. The crazy thing about it, and I'll have to say this, you guys, because she was around for a while, right? It's known out here that Joe is the Joy is the quiet one, and Azrael is the loud one, the boasty one, the attitudable one. But like we heard with Lily the other night, she also described her as kind of the sweetest one too. You know, she knows how to hold a conversation and things like that. Hell, as far as I'm knowing, she might have had Mr. Robert Spencer Kelly scared as hell. Scared. But then again, it might have been what he liked, her spunk, her voice, you know, her attitude. He might have liked that too, so he didn't get rid of her. As far as I know, you know, and so he kept her around. He kept her around, and I sure in the hell don't think it was for or at any level of manipulating any damn body. I really don't. And that's just my freaking opinion. But we all know once we start those birth control pills out there and the body changes, and Cupid is always in the air. Cupid is always in the air. But who is to blame for this? And I have to go with, because I heard a little bit of Judge Joe Brown, and mind you, he was just on another show tonight talking about the LGB alphabet people. He just kind of went off, so I was kind of watching that a little bit earlier. And Judge Joe Brown has no darn filter, do he? That baby. So this girl, she had to tell him like, oh, okay, can we calm down on the F word, right? Because he was using it pretty much, right? So I was like, okay, but you know, yeah, it happens, but be angry with your law. Judge Joe Brown said it best when I heard the ending of him over on Sylvia's channel. I don't know how many people caught it, but I did. He said, and I'll quote and unquote, we all have done this to ourselves. We've done this to ourselves. This is the things that you people vote on up under your legislative. He putting it down. I understand it. I'm not confused by it all. So if we're going to have a problem, how do we eliminate such cases like this? Sit sideways, you guys. How do you fix it? How do you fix the problem? You have to get your government all on one goddamn page. It can't be 15 over here, 13 down there, 12 over here, 18 over yonder. It can't be that way. It can't be that way. It says that you are the United States of America. It also says that you are, or we the people. Judge Joe Brown says it best. You are the people as a whole that goes out there and vote up under all of these legislative fucked up goddamn laws out here. But then when the shit hit the fan like it's doing, we want to point the finger. We want to point the finger, and the finger gets pointed at the wrong person. It's pointed at the wrong person. It's your government. They do these jacks of all trades. They do this shit to people, and look at the outcome of it. It gets into an uproar. What works for one may not work for another. What works for the other one not gonna work for the one. Same rules somewhere, but it's applied different to a certain individual. You all have to know by now that Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly has been tied into this horrific takedown, especially when it comes with Kim Fox. When it comes to this, happened all around the time all this investigation and everything aligned with Jussie Smollett. It's the big people, and it is messed up, but you can't fix it until everybody comes as a whole and start realizing the bigger picture out here. And that is, we are doing this shit. We make this goddamn bed, and the government sit back and watch everybody lie in it and keeps a goddamn mess. Look what they done made. They done created that damn monster over there. And look what happened. Your government came out and said that it's okay. We can hire informants out here because we need the help. We need the help with the takedown. It's a dirty ass game. Somebody's got to do it, and a dirty ass person who chooses to have nothing will do that type of shit, make those bad choices. And like they say, it's not the money. What do they say? Money isn't of greed. It's the person, for the love of money, that chooses to do greed with it, to do bad things with it. It gives you that bad thought. I was like, you know what? It's crazy, but it is what it is. Let me see if I can get the next one up for you guys. Let's move on, because I'm going to be getting up out of here soon. Okay, so let's go to this one here. Let's see if I can get it up for you guys. So you all remember, we're getting back to Greenberg, right? You all remember that story, right? When there was a alleged, I'm not going to say, I say alleged, but I'm going to put the letter up on the screen about Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, who submitted this letter. And we were told out here, I believe, by Greenberg that the letter was not of real, right? And he didn't know where it had come from, and Kelly did not write this letter, or this is not what Kelly wanted. And this was some time ago. I'll get to the date in a minute, where it says on here that he wanted to change out his attorneys, right? Well, I guess Greenberg did not believe that, and it'll tell you in the letter that he had some help with a family member and so on, right? I believe when the family member got indicated inside of this letter, I think that this is what in my opinion, led Greenberg to come out to say that the letter wasn't like real, it didn't come from Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, and so on and so forth. So y'all, it says on here, y'all, I am so embarrassed by how naive we were. Kels had been complaining about Greenberg for a long time, but he was being silenced. Who was silencing Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly is the question. That is the person that should be getting some reprimandation on his ass or her ass. Who was silencing this man? He had absolutely nobody, I guess, that he can speak through when it came to his attorneys, because Greenberg came out and made some comments about this letter that he had written to the attorneys. So let's get into it just for a second. I know that it's old, but I just want to bring it back to everybody's attention. It says that it came from Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. It was registered, his registration number from the MCC 71 West Van Burg Street in Chicago, and it was sent to Harry D. Linenweber, right? And it was the judge, right? Got Rockford, Illinois. I guess that's where his address was. United States of America versus Robert Kelly. So I don't have it all up on here, but let me see if I'm gonna, let me see if I can get this to open up. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Let me see if I can get it larger, you guys. Oh, come on. I think that's about as large as I can get it. I'm not sure. Okay, let's try this. And this one here was filed on September 2, 20. Before I read this, you guys, I got to say this, right? Because we all know that attorney Nicole Becker was on the team as well at this time. I guess the only question that I do have when it comes to Nicole Becker, right? And this letter came out, and today we get to find out that there was alleged another Jane Doe on a phone call listening in with a alleged bribery situation with Arlene, right? And Azrael with, I guess, allegedly around $500,000 for her to, probably stop doing whatever, which would make it a similar of instructing of justice, right? Like what had happened with what was it, Rashana Landfair and family. So kind of a similar situation. So that was the information that was dropped out here earlier today. So the question is, I guess we'll have to sit and wait to see where that goes. But I have some more paperwork to drop out here for you guys. But that's where we're at now after watching all of the shenanigans that went down today. You guys got to hear the ops make their propaganda about the situation as well. And it wasn't good. It really wasn't good, especially on the channel that I had sat on. But this letter was filed. And my question, like I got to ask you guys, my question about this, and knowing that attorney Nicole Becker was on the case, it was like, if you were for Robert Kelly and a lot of these things come through, right? I was just curious, like, what was her follow-up behind this letter? Was this letter real or was it not real? Was there any further investigation about the letter, or did it just stand at when Mr. Greenberg came out and said, well, no, we're not going to pay any attention to that because that's not real? Well, this case do have, there's a certified mail number down there. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. But anyways, let's get past that because that is something that I'm going to ignore right now. It'll be easy for me, but it's best that I ignore it. I am writing you this letter to inform you that I am being denied effective assistance of counseling at the pretrial stage in the above referenced criminal case. I have instructed my attorney. Hold on, you guys. Let me do this because then it put me over here. I'll open it up just a little bit. There we go. Says that I have instructed my attorney by the name of Stephen A. Greenberg to file a pretrial motion under Fed R Crime P12B2. Mr. Greenberg refuses to electronically file on my behalf a legal document titled Defendant's Expedited Motion to Dismiss Criminal Cause of Action, consisting of 6 pages as prepared by me with help of a family and friends. This part here is what led me to believe that, okay, maybe Greenberg kind of came out to dismiss, saying that Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly had anything to do with this letter because he had implied that he had had help with a family and friends. So I'm just guessing maybe that's why he came out with that annotation about Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly at the time, which was a little bit after September 22nd of 2020. So that had been some wow. I'm wondering, like, will the judge see this? Has the judge seen this? Was this submitted in to the judge to allow the judge to probably have it checked out to make sure that the judge follow up behind Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly after September 22nd to ask him, or I wonder how to, what was their protocol? What was the next step? Is it because Mr. Greenberg said that they were going to dismiss all of this and not pay any attention to this letter, or is that as far as it went, just to Mr. Greenberg? Did anybody else see this letter on his team? Did anybody else see this letter on his team? So lots of questions behind this letter, but we don't know, but only but what we heard. And according to Mr. Greenberg, it was like, okay, this letter is just not, it's not cool. It was filed though. It was stamped. So let's go here. None of them has carried out their duties owed to me by filing the necessary Rule 12B and 2 motion for the adjudication of the court. Since my attorneys has breached their duties owed to me, they are subject to a lawsuit for legal malpractice. Thank you, Judge, for discussing this matters with my attorney. So I guess this letter it ended up to Mr. Harry D. Leinenweber, and I guess Mr. Leinenweber and I guess showed it, or I guess allegedly given it to Greenberg to check into. And then that's when Greenberg came out and was like, okay, no, this isn't, we're not going to pay any attention to that because he didn't request that. So I don't know. I do like the last sentence here saying that since my attorneys has breached their duties owed to me, they are subjected to a lawsuit for legal malpractice. At least that part was entered in there just in case that there was some malpractice against Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, where he has his options to say, well, you know what, I now lawfully have the right to come back, and possibly sue Mr. Greenberg. Now, that could be possible, it could be possible. It could be possible. So I don't know, it is what it is, but I think that is just so much has pretty much happened. Let me get out of this screen here, you guys. Give me a second. I don't want to read the tweets today at all. So come on. Oh, well, I guess I want to read that. Oh, okay. That's interesting, but let's go back. Okay, so I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think out there? Was the letter you guys think that there was some validation to that letter or not? What do you guys think? Other than that, I'm gonna come back in the chat room and check on you guys for a second before I pull up this other paper, but we'll see. Let me see, where am I at with this? Okay. Let's just read over these three tweets right here. This Twitter correspondence. Let's read over this for a second. Let me get back to here though. I gotta shrink my screen down so that I can find you guys. There we go. Let's go over this. Are y'all still good in the chat room? Are you guys still good in the chat room? Let me see some blue hearts in the chat. I know you guys got your own little convos going on, but if you're good in the chat, because let me see you guys put some blue hearts up in the chat. And the hearts are for Mr. Kelly, you guys. Yeah, he's doing too much work, way too much. It don't take all that. If you're winning, you're winning. At some point, you run out of trump cards, Pernell. At some point, you'll run out of trump cards. And if you played all your trump cards the way they're supposed to be played, it shouldn't be no sweat over there. It shouldn't be no worries. Thank you, Galatians. I see you. Thank you, hon. So on here, you have corresponding going on with Stephanie Anna and I am Bora. Yeah, I'll give some shout out to both of the young ladies of the tweets that I am displaying up on the screen, sharing this information with you. It says, this is Stephanie to Bora. Thank you. I have a question. Is Nicole the attorney that was mentioned in the Richard Arline's indictment? Always thought it was another attorney. So Stephanie, Barbara, can I share this in the group? And, she was like, well, no, Nicole was not on that call. This is a known fact. Nothing was said in court today was found to be facts. It was all based on what if. Once the probing was completed, the judge and the prosecution found nothing. So I don't know how true that is right here, but let's move on. Let's move on, you guys. I'm going to go to another one. Let me stop that. Let's move to the other one. And this one here, I will go ahead and share this one with you guys as well. Bora to Anna. I will share with anyone who is interested in knowing the truth. Sylvia is on this page and can see everything that I'm posting. All I will say is this. There were things brought up in the court that could have been an issue moving forward with Nicole. And we all know what those things were. Hello, Jaja. Hello. We all know what they were because we all heard them today. We watched, we heard it. We've listened to pretty much a lot of people propaganda about Miss Attorney Nicole Becker allegedly being on a phone line, with alleged bribery going on with Mr. Arlene, where they're trying to seriously connect Arlene with Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. However, I could have sworn that I might have heard somebody saying that Mr. Arlene was alleged Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly's cousin, and I was always under the impression that Mr. Arlene was Cash Jones' cousin. So that is something that I think that I'm gonna have to dig and clean that up or clear it up to make sure that my words are somewhat is close to being true and not false over here, but because I'm not sure, but I know I heard it, but I'll find out. I'm not sure though. There were things brought up in court that could have been an issue moving forward with Nicole, but the judge and the prosecutor both agreed that it should not be a problem and don't want to remove her from the case. But they will look deeper just to be sure that there weren't any ethical violations with communications with the Jane Doe 5 and Joy. If Joy is called as a witness for the defense, the judge appointed someone on his behalf who is independent that will explain the laws and the rules of the matter. I'm going to stop right there because one thing for sure and two things for certain. I don't care how much it is that I guess the ops over there is playing their freaking hand, right? You can't play your hand like that on a judge. It's not gonna happen. The judge is of law. They don't have enough money over there to play into this game to have the judge move and say any kind of thing unethical about the law. They don't have enough. So I am pleased to know that, this is here is saying that where the judge appointed someone on his behalf. So that tells me that the judge is somewhat doing her job. Something isn't right here. We got to find out. One thing that I can do is I got to separate. I got to move you people to the back for a second. I am going to appoint someone to dig into further details about, what's going on and things like that. I hope that that is the case. And I sure like to see the ops pay the judge off. I really do. I really want to see y'all do that. But moving on, that will explain the laws and the rules of the matter at hand so he can fully understand what is going on. But this will not be his permanent lawyer. Talking about Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. You say you thought they said Michael Williams was Rob's cousin, right? But I'm telling you, I'm like, well, wait a minute. I could have sworn I heard that it might have been on somebody's commentary that I was listening to today, but I'm not going to put her name out there. And she got the shout out for it. So that's what made, that's why I jumped over to her commentary and I was pretty sure that she said that. So don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure that I did hear that because I was like, R.Kelly and R-Line cousins. Like, what? Well, anyway, let's move forward and I will go back and revisit that commentary just to make sure. And if I am wrong, I will come back to clean that up because I do stand correct over here. So let me read that again. The judge appointed someone on his behalf who is independent that will explain the laws and the rules of the matter at hand so he can fully understand what is going on, but this will not be his permanent lawyer. Speaking of Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. Yeah. So the judge also instructed Greenberg to not focus on filing dates for motions because Nicole and Thompson will take care of it, indicating to him that perhaps he will not be moving forward. Sounds like a little shutdown to me, but like I say, I think I'll wait to hear more about it actually being announced formally, probably through the media, the main media, or probably from Greenberg himself. I mean, he probably would come out and say that they won their motion to be officially removed from Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly's case, you know. So I'll wait and see what happens with that. But right now, this is, you know, coming from, yeah, Barbara, yeah, to Anna, and they're speaking, having their conversations about what they think. Also, the prosecution stated Joy was not a witness for them. And Nicole advised the judge that Mr. Kelly has another federal trial lawyer that has been added to the team this morning. This morning, you guys. So there you have it. I believe that it may be official and okay to say that Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly will now have a new team of 3 attorneys, giving it a go again to represent him and win a not guilty plea for Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. Vindication. And that's where my faith is at. You know, no matter who takes charge for Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, we can only walk by faith sometimes. And in this case, we had to walk by faith and by sight. So a lot of people was looking into things and noticing things that just wasn't moving well for Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. No motions was one, and there was indications that, you know, that they wasn't getting the discoveries that they needed timely because the prosecutors wasn't handing them over it to them. But here, I believe that the only discovery that Greenberg was probably waiting on was who was this Jane Doe that was left out there that was allegedly on a phone call listening in to a bribery situation that could have possibly involved or circumvent, I'll say, around Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, with probably him, like they say, not knowing anything about it. But I don't know. That picture that everybody saw or the video where you seen attorney Nicole Becker coming out of the courtroom, walking alongside of Joy and Azarel. You know, it could be 1,000 words, and people would take them a few words out of that story and go and run with it. The allegations came about that there were some texts or something that, you know, attorney Nicole Becker could possibly have had in her phone. So with that being said, it would appear to, I guess, a conflict of interest to everybody out here, because no one knows what those conversations could have been about. So I get it that the picture may look and appear to everybody that, oh my God, she's working for them now, or she's going to possibly, represent them. The conflict of interest. How could she be talking to them? And if they come on a stand, and how do you do a cross examination to Azarel if she is now all of a sudden against Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly? How do we do the things? How do we do it? How do we do it? How do we fix it? Well, allegedly, she's going to try to fix it because she is up next in line to represent Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, along with the counterpart, what's his name? Petronella. I don't know how to say his name. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to practice on that name. I promise y'all I'm going to get it right. And along with having a third new attorney allegedly has been added to the team sometime this morning. So I don't know. Me, you guys, I don't get into all of this god darn, oh my God, is this, is that, is this, is that, and they're doing that. I don't get into all of that crippity crap stuff of all of these. Everybody wants to be the attorneys, and everybody wants to be the lawyers out here and the prosecutors out here, when we clearly see that you're working with an opposite side of the team that just don't like Mr. Robinson Pescatelli. They want to see him locked up like forever. They do. But if it takes them to go 8 miles and some extra and some change with doing all of this shit that they're doing, then that tells me that they're losing. Because it don't take that much. Lay your last Trump card down. Every time somebody comes out with just a tad bit of information, it's like, here they come. It was a pattern too. It was a pattern the other day. It was definitely a pattern about it, because it's like, well, this will drop, then this will drop, and it's like, oh my God. Then here comes the misconstrued dialogue from the other people, from the other people, that they throw this shit up in here. Now everybody is just going haywire out here, and it's, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But give me a second, because we're not done. I got one more to show you guys. I do. So allegedly, 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 that's what I'm gonna say. Allegedly, give me a second. Allegedly, I don't know. Y'all type into the comments of what you think about this picture right here. What do you think about this picture right here? Huh? What do you guys think about that picture? I like to see some things in the comment right now. I'm gonna come to the chat room for a second. What do y'all think about that picture? When Wonder Woman and Superwoman team up to rescue, what do y'all think? What do y'all think about that picture? I'm not moving on until you guys tell me what you think about that picture. What do y'all think? Let me blow it up so you can see it a little bit bigger. Oh, no. Oh, let's do it. Let's do that. Okay, so there we go. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? What do y'all think about that title up there, huh? What do you think? I'll wait. I will wait to see what you're thinking. I'll wait. Alexa, play Over the Rainbow.
Here's Over the Rainbow by Glee Cast on Amazon Music.
Y'all don't have an answer, huh? Hello, Miss Leo. Who is that? Alexa, music off. So you say, who is that? Up there in the title, it says that I am Bora. Is Bora the superwoman? Is Bora the super? You can't see that? You can't. I got it blowed up as big as I can get it. Oh, there we go. There we go. How about that? Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? There's your team. There. This here is allegedly the third leg. Okay? Allegedly. That's the third leg, you guys. So I'm just saying, yeah, right there, right there. Yeah. Y'all see that face on there? They like, bring it on, bring it on. Bring it on. We want all the smoke. That's how they looking, right? We want all the smoke. Yeah. Yeah. There you have it. It says that we are Wonder Woman and Superwoman teams up to rescue Superman. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. Now I'm going to stop that. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, let's get rid of that. So I'm going to close this because I'm going to come back to the chat room now. Yeah. What are y'all thinking? What are y'all thinking out there? Come on. What are y'all thinking? She going to have a feast? You say she gonna have a feast, huh? Yes. I'm just saying, it just looks like that. You know what you guys seen the what's the Wild Wild West movie with the females, right? I think Lisa Ray was in it. A couple of them girls was in it. That's what they look like, right? So I don't know, I guess we'll have to wait and see, how this going to play out. But allegedly, I think that it has been announced that there is and there will be fresh and new third leg out there from Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. So, yeah. All right. Shirley said, all right now. All right now. I just thought I'll have to take a minute to show that to you guys, yeah. Y'all think she got it? What do y'all think? Because I think at this point that whatever it is is my BFF in the chat room. Yep, she's in the chat room. What up, Meg? My BFF is in the chat, you guys. Shout out to my BFF. Watching the show. So, but I don't know. Guess we'll have to see. I guess that we will have to see. Now, I will drop the call-in number, you guys. So if you want to call in to give your opinion on it, please do so. And if you would like to, I would love to hear and read some of you guys' comments in my comments down below. Don't forget to like and share my channel over here, you guys. And please don't forget to help support the channel. I appreciate every dollar of it. It keeps the channel up and going. I appreciate that as well. And BFF, you hit my cash app, BFF. Put that dollar up there before I come back to work and get you. And get my BFF to donate to the channel, y'all. Y'all tell my BFF to donate to the channel. But she tight, y'all. I got to squeeze a dollar out the girl. Okay, so let me do what was I doing? Messing with her. Yeah, I'd like to see some of you guys' comments below. So, but we can open up the phone. Let's open up the phone. See what y'all got to say about this situation. Oh, Galatians. Thank you. Thank you. You rock, girl. You rock. You be riding over here. You be riding with me. And I appreciate it. Oh, shit. Not that damn number. Oh, shit. No. I'll be having to do a lot of blocking. So keep in mind, I don't always have this phone on me. And I'm good at spamming my calls out. But there's the number. We'll give you time to call in. You can even call in and tell me about me. I want to talk to you guys. I'll pin it up top. I'm going to turn the volume up. But that's pretty much, all that I had to come on and fuss about today. So, yeah. That's what I did. All right. But if you want to call in and tell me what you think about the commentary, or what do you think about, I don't know much about it, but as you guys can see that there will be or there is, thank you Galatians, thank you, there will be a third leg. There's a third leg on board, so I like to see them these ops. What you got now? What y'all got now for this third party that didn't come aboard over there? You know, I don't know. I don't know. Some a part of it does appear to look like, you know, Greenberg probably got a little upset because this attorney Nicole had been there for some time, and it's like it does show suspicious behavior of defamation of character, just angry, you know, if you are not the chosen one anymore due to not fulfilling Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly rights to him of having the right now, because he needed the perfect representation behind him. And if you're not making your client comfortable and making your client feel as though that we're going to win this case by presenting all of the right things that needs to be presented in a court of law, especially timely. Timely is very important, and you all know in the court of law, if you ain't submit something timely, you everything comes with a timestamp on it. You either got 5 days to get this back to me, 14 days to get this back to me, 21. If you ain't gonna meet the deadline on some things, you definitely need to have your ass somewhere talking to somebody about getting something extended. Hey, I got the flu. We gonna need to do this. The same way that they can call the prosecutors up to have to ask them, you know, because they talk. Prosecutors and defense attorneys, they talk all the time. That's just their way of snooping up on each other to get a little bit of, you know, information. You know, I always thought that, you know, at the beginning of this trial, that Mr. Kelly, that was the first thing that I asked. The first, you say he need to go pick up his feelings. The first thing that I asked was, "Where's Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, mediator? Like, this is a big case. Like, where's the mediator at? Right? There was no mediator, and I was like, OMG, so my head dropped. Right? The next thing I end up following up to catch was, okay, so he has a PR. Okay, you got a PR. A PR before a mediator. See, because a mediator definitely could have been in there. A mediator is not on anybody's side. They don't know these people. They are, you know, sent in kind of like having a sequestered juror. You know, a mediator could be sequestered. You know, they don't know these people. They want to go here and look at everything that the prosecuting side will have. Then they're going to go and discuss what it is to the defense. Then they tell the defense people, you know, what are your odds here? What do they have over there? You know, a mediator does suggesting of things. It also would have told the defense attorney, you guys can prepare, you know, for a case, or, you know, fold on the case they have, you know, such and such and such and such and such. I do not agree with having a grand juror privately. I don't believe in private grand jurors at all. And if it was up to me, that shit would be swept away. You better not let me run. It ain't gonna be no more private ass grand jurors going on. No, 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 no. And no, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. You don't get to be showing all of this stuff all privately. It's going to be presented in the courts anyway. Everything else, you might as well show it. You might as well tell it. That way, after the grand juror has done whatever, there's nothing that can be hidden at all, because it's all documented. We know it. We know who was there. We know who said what. I never get it about all this private ass shit. Then you want to come out here and keep up this damn uproar of things. Mm. It is what it is, though, you guys. So, all right. So I've sat and I've talked to like another 5 minutes. It is 11:37 at night. So if you guys don't have anything else to talk about, I think that tonight, I think that I'm going to rest my case on this. Again, I don't care what those people are saying. I really, really don't. I don't care what Drunken Larry or anybody else saying. I visit a channel for probably about 5 or 10 minutes, and it was dirty. And guess who was on there? Yes, he was on there. Because he's got his propaganda of the way that he puts things, and to him, his way and his propaganda is effective. No, the fucking ain't. That's just the way his theory came out. All of us are going to have a different opinion or a different theory. It's how we perceive things. And we're all not going to perceive things the exact same way. We're not the same people. Our brain absorbs it, and we interpret it a little bit different. For the most of us, a lot of us may interpret it the same way, but it is what it is. Shout out to you, Galatians. Thank you, thank you, Leisha. Leisha, I noticed the ones that have stayed around, but I just come on here to do whatever. Hell, I might have to give Lysol a goddamn wrench because he's been rocking with me over here, y'all. I don't know if it's because he ain't got nowhere else to go because they won't let him in, but Lysol has really been rocking. I don't even know who he is. That's crazy, right? Well, we look forward to having Lily back for ladies' night, you guys. I might be just a tad bit behind schedule on Saturday because I gotta work. I gotta work, you guys. At first, I was not scheduled to work, and then I'm going up there. I'm like, oh my God, I got to work. Okay, it is what it is. It pays the bills. It doesn't last, as always. So thank you, Lysol. Lysol, I do. You know, I do just want to say this to you. I do appreciate you rocking. I know no matter what you put in the chat or this or that, you have settled down quite a bit with the attack because there's really hardly nobody over here for you to attack on. Everybody over here kind of seem to be on the same page. And I don't get many people in here to, be all crazy in the chat room anymore. But I do appreciate you sitting over here, and I do appreciate you rocking. And it was, I have to say, your advice. Stay the hell off the phones. And guess what? It worked. It was like no more, no more, nobody else, no more, because it is very hard. It's very complicated to know who is who and to know who is who, because Mr. Kelly did have is so many people. It's so many people, and it is possible for a lot of people out here to gain to gain financially off of him just by using his name, and you just make money, and you just make money, and you just make money. I said it once last night. I don't give a damn what happened to Drunken Larry. Drunken Larry is not my responsibility. Drunken Larry is also a grown ass man. Drunken Larry will have to reap what he sowed. I don't get to make that call on his life, whether if he do a year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, mainly because I don't give a damn. He doesn't pay my bills. I don't know him. I don't care to know him. What I said is I do not support anything of that type of behavior. Hurt people. It is also a condition learned. This is what he knows. This is who he is. If you think that if he could not make a decision to say, I got a family, I can't be doing that shit, because we know money looks good. We know it looks good. We know it will buy you whatever you want to have if you have gotten enough of it, right? Unstoppable. We know that people with money and get it in such a terrible way become unstoppable people. What makes you think that this man isn't capable of manipulating anything that he wants, including the goddamn propagandas, the theories that come out here and people opinion. He can persuade those. He's a perfectionist at it. He is the person if he wants something, he goes go to the drawing board and know how to draw it up. I just so happen to be one of those type of ladies that the same streets that he come from, I come from. All of us have been out there in the streets, and if you're not street smart, yeah, he'll be one of those type of people that can pull it over you. And another reason why it's easy to gang up with it, they are the get along, they are the go along gang. I rock over here with the get along gang. We just choose to sit in the chat room just to get along with the opinions, with the comments, and etc. and etc. That's it. What up, Tori? So I mean, it doesn't get to me. It does not get to me because I know I am not like of what he is. If you don't join him, you are going to be the worst. You are going to be the dumb one. You are going to be the illiterate one. You're going to be the stupid one. You can't challenge up against them. You can't understand any of the things. You can't read the documents. Nobody read. What the fuck? Hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Let me do this. Let me do this for us. One goddamn minute. You don't read the indictments, and you don't do this, and you don't do that, and you don't understand the analysis and the perspectives, and you all this goddamn shitty shit of the shit. Isn't this a goddamn indictment? What the hell is that? Ain't that what this is? You think I ain't read this goddamn shit over and over and over and over? This one? You think I didn't read Don Russell's? You think I didn't read this shit? You think I didn't read the car bombing and all of this shit? You think I have not read all of these allegations about all of these people involved? You think I don't have printout goddamn Pacers shit? You think I don't have that shit over here? you think I don't have the what's been going on in his case? Are you stupid or just dumb? I just choose to not have conversations with you because there's nothing that he can say or anybody can say from the opposite side of the team that can persuade my mind from the way I goddamn think. I don't care about that goddamn pissing 2002 and 2008. I don't care about this goddamn videotape that happened years ago. What happened now is what I am concerned about. And if I had to be and had my choice to go up in there, yeah, you can use that past shit to try to win your case. But I'm going to try to persuade this goddamn jury on why we are here today. And it's sure in the fuck and about something that they acquitted him on back in 2008. They run that shit on up the goddamn river. And that's just how I feel about that. That's how I feel about that. You got him, then go get him. There's no need to keep sitting out here playing all your goddamn trump cards. Every last one. You playing every last one. You do know that it's only, 13 of them in a deck, right? The deuce, the trey, 4. I don't know them in Spanish too much. 4, 5, 6. The jack, the queen, the king, the ace. And the jokers if you're going to play with them. But I guess he's going to have to find out at the end of the day who the joke is really on. If you're winning, you're winning. You're about running out of trump cards over there, buddy. You're about running out of them. You're not going to be in there prosecuting Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly's case. That's number one. That's why I'm really not timid by him at all. That's why I cannot be manipulated by anything he says. He can pop a whole goddamn encyclopedia of papers up there. He can pop up there the whole goddamn law library up there. Had he been able to read a goddamn indictment and understand all this shit, just maybe he wouldn't have got himself caught up in the shit over the love of money. Because I just read these goddamn indictments here, and there's some other ones that I won't get into. But baby, they scared me enough not to get my ass into any motherfucking bullshit. Because I realize now that an indictment can get your ass caught up. But see, I don't know if you guys remember that one guy commentary, right? This is the one of the indictments, okay? This is the district, the pacer things of what you can pull up and look at, right? So I have that, right? You see, print out some things that I like to look over, right? So that I can stay on course with things in case I miss some things verbally said out here on people commentary. But it was a guy back in 2019 where he used to come on, I haven't seen him in a while, or I forgot his name or something. And he clearly told you guys, now I'm gonna put that down because I got to show you what he said, and I'm gonna remind you people of what he said as soon as I can find a piece of paper that I can actually rip up. Maybe it's this. Maybe I could do this one. Let me see. No. Oh, okay. Damn, y'all. All my shit got all my info. I need this stuff because we got to go back down memory lane. Well, let me remind you people. Maybe I don't need this. I don't know. Anyways, I'll have to pretend it right. The guy did his commentary and he told you guys, about the indictment papers. And if you guys remember him, what did he say about indictment papers, right? It's just a piece of paper. It's only words used to get a person in the court system, to place that person under allegations of what the government believe of something that he has done. Your grand jury people was presented to them. They gave what they call it, a little bit of information I can say, because the word just went blank out of my head, and say, oh my God, he done this, he done this, he done this, he done this. Okay, fine, let's charge it with this. Boom, boom, boom. Let's charge it with this. This is exactly what that man did in his video. He took that indictment paper, right? And what did he do with it? You know why? Because everything on that indictment paper, everything that they have charged him with, until it is presented in the court of law under a juror, it is nothing but words. They have to prove everything that they have decided to charge Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly on that paperwork. So he can put up 10,000 of papers on his screen. I don't know how it intimidates or scare people. I don't know. It's a paper with words on it that still has to be proven in a court of law. It's not guilty first, according to him that puts up all of his paperwork. See, that's what he puts up, and that's what he shows you. It's right here. It's right here. You guys are too fucking incompetent and you don't goddamn it read. It's right here. They don't understand this shit. So in other words, what he's telling you is that what's right here is factual, and this is what they're going to win the case on. This is all the evidence that they need is right here. To him, this is all the discovery. To him, this is how he feeds it to the people out here, right here. Well, if that was the case, and I heard somebody say out there, and I have to say, shout out to what's her name, Star? Is it Starlight? Star Life? She was over one time on the panel, and I can't seem to find her channel anymore. And I would like to go and watch some of her commentary, but I can't find her channel. So if anybody has her channel, can you please post it up in the, I don't know, post it in the chat room? I really like her channel because she they get upset when they challenge when they challenge when you challenge their theory is when they get upset and they get into an uproar because they want to be 110% effective and right about what they say. Perfectly understandable. It's the challenging of things that upsets them. It's a normal reaction because, of course, when you are spewing out things, you want to be correct. You want to be the shit. You want to be the one with the words. You want to be the one that the people bow down to you because you feel like your ass and came correct. So it was presented over there that um, the argument was about, I think, them being torn between the law or something with the age of relationships with the man and the female, right? So it was in that air over there about that, and because they did not want to hear her comment, and there was so many of them over there, it overwhelmed her comment. Their goal is to make you feel as if your comment is the stupidest thing out here because it did not fit them. You are not allowed to belittle them, meaning don't challenge them on anything. They are out here to take your train of thought from you of what you may feel was the right thing to say. Fall for it if you want to. If you want to say it, then you say it. If you mean what you say what you mean, and you stand on your shit and stop allowing these people to take your comment or your theory or your opinion because you challenge some things and to make you feel like, well, you have to go and second guess yourself. Fucking second guess yourself off of what somebody else said. You're not second guessing what they said. They get to say what they want to say. Then say it. But it overwhelmed her comment and started to get heated up, and that's when I left from over there. It got ugly, and of course, Drunk Larry came on back on the scene, and he was determined to prove that she was wrong, that this wasn't right. Oh, and that was stupid. And by law is this way. And by law it says to not god dang on it, steal no goddamn money. By law it says all that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So I guess there is a person out there that don't really go by law, but wants to teach the goddamn law. Make that make sense. That's a red flag to me. Red flag. Hold on, because now you got me pissed off. And I wasn't even finna go there. But I'm getting ready to get up out of here. Anyways, I am. But I'm just saying, though, y'all. I'm just saying, by law, that nigga up here got a whole stack of goddamn papers in front of him with the nerves of talking about some by law. Where they do that shit at? You should have went by the law. Somebody didn't go by the law. So I ain't even tried that. That's one reason why it's like, who gets a pass? And so everybody gets a pass on that shit? Don't teach no bylaw ass shit and your ass and fucked up all the laws. Get the fuck out of here. What they do that shit at? What they do that shit at? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Let me see them goddamn yellow hearts up in the chat room, y'all, because I got heated up over here for a second. I got to bring it back down because This ain't, no, I ain't going back and forth with you niggas. Not anymore. Not anymore. But I know that my words can't be manipulated, and neither can my mind. I don't care what they got and what they're doing. I really don't care. I feel like this. If you had it all, you'd have been folded by now. But you're still pressing on, pressing on, pressing on. Lay at the rest. You think you won? You won. Well, you still got to do more damage for. Well, you still got to keep it going for. Well, you got more crooked shit going on over there than the man on the goddamn moon. And the crazy thing about it is, I don't give a fuck. Yellow hearts up in the chat room, y'all. I don't give a fuck. I'm not in the case. Neither are you. Neither are a lot of people out here. Not at all. Nope. Not at all.
Shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Y'all know what I get going on here, and since you want to make a goddamn, I cannot believe like how did I end up being his topic today? Like I don't bother people. All I do is just do my commentary, just like everybody else, and keep it freaking moving. So with that being said, you can
Go suck a dick, suck a motherfucking dick, suck a dick, suck a huge small.
now. It's like this just don't make any sense. Don't make any sense. I can't shut nobody down, and I'm not out here to shut nobody down. Nobody. Nobody. So it's like, cut it out. God, ain't you tired of roasting? Aren't you tired of trying to humiliate somebody or defame somebody's character? I ain't no match to nobody out here. Nobody. Nobody.
Now fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Now fuck that bitch. Now fuck that bitch. Now fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Now fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Now fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
And with that being said, you guys, you all don't forget, support the goddamn channel. I'm here to stay for a while. I think I might be liking this. I got to get back over to the other stream, y'all. Hey, I can't do nothing but like what Lysol say here is just go up. I'm up. I'm up. I'm ready. You can't, you know it, Shannon. I work in these, girl. I got this over here, girl. I got this now. I'm also told to be you careful with these buttons over here because sometimes you know I end up triggering the wrong thing. I be on it, girl. Now I ain't all that fancy, but you know I realized something. Sometimes you ain't got to be that damn fancy just to get your word out. Put a one in the chat. You ain't got to be fancy. You ain't got to be fancy. I ain't got to have all those volcanoes and rainbow bright ass colors going on and shit like that. I mean, one day it may get to there. You guys gonna be like, oh shit, check that out. But for the meantime, since we're dealing with Mr. Robert Sebastian Cali, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna keep it simple and keep it moving. But once we get the moving on and so and continue to have more fun over here with ladies' night and all of that stuff, yeah, I'm gonna have more fun with my streams over here. Shout out to Priscilla and Galatians. Let me see the ones in the chat, y'all. If you are not a member, go ahead and get your membership over here, you guys. It's only what $1.99 a month. That also helps to support the channel. So that way you don't have to support it any other way. It'll just come to me with the $1.99 a month that will pay for the zooming and the music and things over here. And that's it. That's it. And you guys get to enjoy those pretty emojis down there. I think, Priscilla, I think I changed one. I'm pretty sure I think I changed one. I don't remember what it was. I think I changed one though, but I think that's when I think you have to have membership, I think of 4 months or something, then you will get that. So each emoji comes monthly and or I don't know. I don't know how you do it. I don't know. Mine's never changed. I'm just always with this little basketball. I mean with the little I don't know. I don't know how to get those up at all from for me to do it myself. That sucks. Yeah. So again, you guys, let's see what happens with I guess the third leg that is coming aboard to help Mr. Robinson Kelly. Let's keep the faith that there is nothing dirty or anything about Miss Attorney Nicole Becker. Let's keep the faith that she has her boxing gloves on and they're ready to move forward with no more interruptions, you guys. No more interruptions. We'll keep watching to see what's going on with Arlene. I believe somehow he's got a vacation or something coming up and going over to Jamaica or Hawaii or some goddamn well. He ain't going to jail right now, so allegedly I guess he's waiting to they're waiting it out. I don't know. I need to get back on and follow up to see what's going on with Russell's case, because I like following and seeing what's happening to that. Maybe one day, who knows, I might see if I can email or do something to try to get Don Russell to come over just to give us some insight or some more updates on some things. Who knows, we will see. But if you're interested in coming on the panel, just hit my email and join me on the panel if you got a story to tell. We want to hear it all, and we are here for it. Y'all know we here for it in my phases voice, y'all. We is here for it, and that's all we do. That's all we do, you guys. With that being said, let's get the hell up out this room, you guys. Give the person above you a heart. Give the person below you a heart. Don't forget to share a heart with one papoose, you guys, coming through with another one for you tonight. I am tired. I had to go holler at my grandson and laugh with him a little bit, you guys. Oh, wait a minute. Let me share this, y'all. Because I fell asleep on him last night, right? I fell asleep on him. And so I got up because I was like, now what is he doing? I can hear him. So I'm not in a deep sleep, right? I'm in the REM part of my sleep, right? What is he doing? Y'all, I looked up. Tell me why he was sitting right here in the chair, just typing away, just on the computer, y'all. Yeah, he was. And I'm looking at him like, because he see me doing it, right? So I'm looking at him. I'm like, oh, my God. He's disabled. But the boy is smart as hell. I couldn't even yell at him. I think it might have been about maybe 4 a.m, right? Because he stays up to like 5, 6, ripping and running down the hallway. So, and I'm looking at him. The boy is sitting up in this chair. The computer is not on, right? And he just going. And I was like, what in the hell? But that tells me that, he's picking up on a lot of what he sees. So I guess, it's time to be a lot careful around here. Good night, Cha-Cha. You say who's going to have sex with the animals in Africa? Who? Oh, Lord, they going to get that. You say they going to get that one? All right, you guys. I'm up out of here. You guys have a beautiful, 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 beautiful night.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. All right then. I don't know what the fuck you